Yeah, we're going to talk about what to do when your old life no longer fits. Hi. Hey, hey, hey. I see some familiar names. Welcome. Welcome. Let's wait for a few more people to join. Happy Tuesday. Hope everybody's doing well. Hi, Tony. Hey, everybody. Hey, Flora. What's happening? So, we're going to talk about what to do when your old life no longer fits, but the new one is not built yet. And yeah, I thought it would be this is like the perfect time. Oh, Tony just got back from a 3 mile walk. Yeah, I thought is the perfect time of the year to talk about being kind of in between. We're at the end of the year and people are starting to check in with themselves to see if they reached their goals. And a lot of times we start out the year one way and end it a totally different way. And so Iyanla Van Zant, if you ever heard of Iyanla Van Zant, she calls it being in the meantime, in between. It's also called being in a liminal space. It's the in between who you are now, who you're becoming, the goal you started, maybe the goal that you never reach or you reach it, but in order to get there, your body has to acclimate to all the changes. The same thing happens, and I'll give you some examples. Um, one thing is, and I'll use myself as an example, or even I see it with clients. You have the job, and you really want to quit the job, or you want to retire and do something else. And you're researching, and you're looking, and you're trying to decide, and you're sick of what you're doing now. You're just sick of it. You're done, but you don't know where you're going. Or you're done and you know where you want to go, but you don't know how to get there. It can be a very frustrating place for most people to be in because it sets us off our norm. We're used to habits. We're creatures of habit. We're used to doing the same thing every day, the same way. And when we don't do that, or even when we start thinking different thoughts, it throws us off. And so I really want this to be back and forth with us. Somebody tell me, or all of you tell me, like, what is a goal you worked on this year that maybe you're not there yet? Or what is something that you're thinking that you want to make happen next year and you're kind of struggling with your belief? Because this is the time to kind of go into the lab, like you could call it a life lab, like to experiment. So when you're in this liminal space in the meantime, it is your time to be really um like give yourself a lot of love and really be kind to yourself and nice to yourself and understanding with yourself instead of getting your body healthy, JC. So let's use that as an example. That can look like many different things, getting your body healthy. So let's say we have a specific um, amount of weight we want to lose. Like I've been talking about, I want to get my abs back. I gained weight, started it gaining weight during COVID, and I want to get my abs back. Or JC wants to get the body back, but you're not there. You don't have that body. What you have to do, and it's so important, and this is proven by neuroscience. You have to believe it's already done. What happens is people go after these goals and they don't really believe it or they're fighting with themselves, especially well, I was going to say especially with weight, but you see, with a lot of things, you fight it. In order to lose the weight or get your blood pressure down or cholesterol or blood sugar or whatever the metric is, you want to change it. You want to change the number. Um, but every time you get your blood pressure checked, the number hasn't changed. And then you start thinking, what the hell am I sacrificing all this stuff for if it's not even changing? But we're messing with the balance in our body. We're messing with the balance in our minds. We're messing with the balance in our soul because we're used to the same old, same old. We're used to, I wrote about the other day saying, it's fine. It's okay. I'm okay. But no, you're not. You have this big desire. What you have to do is love up on yourself. And I know that might sound kind of wishy-washy, soft, woo-woo, but really, you have to be kind to yourself. You have to speak kindly to yourself. The other important thing is to just play, like play in the lab. Maybe you try, we keep using weight loss. Maybe you try losing weight, let's say high protein. Everybody's saying get more high protein. Well, I know for me, my stomach does not digest meat very well. And I was trying to get more protein, but through meat, and it was upsetting my stomach. There's my experiment right there. That's not the way for me. It might have worked for someone else. It's called, I'm certified, in addition to being certified as a life and weight coach, I'm also certified as a health coach. And the where I studied, we talk about bio-individuality, that everybody's biology is different, that we can't compare ourselves to anyone else because we are not the other person. We all have different blood types and genes and epigenetics, and so we're all different. But we all, the doctors tell us all eat Mediterranean or eat this, do that, but we're all different. So the meantime, the in between is when you do the experiments. You j Don't beat up on yourself, though. You do the experiments. You try something, see if it works. If it doesn't work, you try something else. You start asking yourself more questions. Like, someone else give me their big goal or dream or desire, however you want to. What do you wanna manifest? Um, because it's important that we see examples restoring your health, Flora. So first you have to define what that means. Restore to what? We can't go back to what it used to be, but we can have a new and improved version of our health, right? But what are you doing? What's the goal? Like, it's really, we have to get really granular. We have to get really granular and make it real because otherwise, if we say lose weight, restore our health, make more money, leave that cheating man, all of those general things, quit the job, I hate my job, I want to quit it. So people will say that to me. And then I ask them, when do you want to quit? Oh, I don't know. Well, what do you want to do when you quit? Strengthen legs so you can go hiking. Yeah. Um, but how are you going to do it? You strengthen your legs, you quit the job, you lose the weight, you restore the health by first deciding, second, being kind to yourself. Really, we beat up on ourselves a lot in our head. I bet you if I was to be able to read your mind, you would it would be a scary place for me to hear what you're saying to yourself. I used to call it the devil and the angel, like, and well, 2 different things. I called devil angel, but I also used to have a drill sergeant on my shoulder. That's what I called it, the drill sergeant that was always yelling at me saying, "Why did you say that? You shouldn't have done that. You shouldn't have ate that. You should know better. You shouldn't have gone this way. Now look at all the traffic." The drill sergeant, the part of your mind that's beating you up all the time. You've got to learn how to identify those those thoughts and calm them down. Now, this is Mo, right? He never does this, but because I'm on a live, he's gonna decide to jump up on the chair. Like, Never. Normally, when I'm in my office working, he has a bed in the hallway, and he lays in his bed, but today, it's almost like he knows, you know? So, that's what happens when you have animals, they do what they want to do. But you have to really become the person that has the results, and that's there's a gap, there's a gap. So, here we are today, and let's say who you want to be by December in a year from now, or the goal you desire a year from now, or the amount of money, whatever it is, you've got to close up that space. And what you do to close up that space is to start being that person now. Being that person now. So if you're like me, when I first heard that, my first question was how? How do you do that? So I really want you to think about if you already had what you desire. So if you already had strong legs, even to define strong, maybe we would say we want to hike 10 miles. For you to get there, you've got to have a plan. You've got to start small. We can't go from here to here like that. Right? So a lot of this stuff is logical, but this isn't really about the strategy. This is more about who you are being, which means what are you thinking every day? How are you feeling every day? And what habits do you have? And that's kind of the piece that most people leave out. They just say, "Oh, I'm going to just walk more, or I'm going to follow this plan." But how do you feel about the plan? If you're hating your life every day, you're not going to get there, or you're not going to maintain it even if you get there. So talk to me, y'all. Tell me some things that you really want to see happen. Um, I want to know what you want to see happen. I took some notes, so it's important that you say yes to yourself. Like I didn't want to forget things. When you want to say no, say yes. When you want to say yes, say no. So food. Maybe you want to, if you want to restore your health, you want to cut out certain foods. Every time you see that food or it's presented a commercial, you go somewhere, people are eating it, it requires saying no. But sometimes we don't want to say no. And then when we say yes to it, then we're beating ourselves up. If you say yes, then forgive yourself and keep moving, right? Seems like a lot of people want to restore their health. I want to make a web series. Great, Marissa. What are you doing? Like you want to. So we want to do it. Are you going to do it? Our words have power. One sentence can change the entire trajectory of your life. Saying I want to or I'm thinking about is totally different than saying I am. I'm doing it. I'm going to make this amount of money. I'm right. I'm going to make a web series in the summer. But why the summer? Seriously, why the summer? Why not start tomorrow? What happens between now and the summer? And this is what we do too. We kind of, put it out there. Well, maybe in about 6 months I'll get started. What if you could have a successful web series in the next 3 months? What if you could start tomorrow and you have quantum leap your results in the next 3 months? It's like when I got on Substack and I said, I am a writer. I didn't wait for anybody's permission. Like, we don't have to wait for anyone's permission. We can just do it. And you will never be mad at yourself for the things that you attempted to do, the things that you took the steps forward. So, Gail, I love the forgive yourself and keep moving. It is like we can fail forward and keep moving. Yes, 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 yes. We are our worst enemies. We talk to ourselves terribly. We talk to ourselves like we would not talk to anyone else. And my thing is, I want you to talk to yourself like you would a child. If you were whether you have children, don't have children, it doesn't matter. If you were talking to, let's say, a 3-year-old, and they were trying to do something and they kept falling down, or a toddler when they're learning to walk, but they were trying to put something together. You would be kind to them. You wouldn't say, "Oh, you're so stupid. You should already know how to do this. That's why you don't have it now because you just like I never did it before." That's what a lot of people say to me. I never did it before, so I don't think I can do it. There's a lot of things you never did before. But when you decide to do it, decision is the, like, right, the starting place. Decide. Decide today. I want you to decide today. So, Marissa said, "You're right. I'm writing it now, shooting in the summer to avoid snow." Again, think about it. Tell us what the web series is. Unless there's like really, really great reason to not film in the snow, why wait? See, that's how fear shows up. And it's so logical. It makes so much sense. Like, literally, I could say, well, I'll start working on getting my abs back when it gets warm outside because I hate the cold. And I love to walk for exercise, but I don't like to walk in the cold. No, what's the workaround? For all of you, what's the workaround? When your brain is offering you an out, what's the workaround? Well, I say when it comes to our brains, fire the liar. That's my phrase. Fire the liar. Because our brains will tell us that we are not safe when we are sitting at home, perfectly chill and warm and cozy. But just the thought of something will have us feeling like we're not safe. We will make up the worst stories in our head to stay the same, even though you don't want to stay the same. How now love chihuahuas. I don't know your name. Max. Um, you know, we want it, right? But we don't want to do what's required to have it. That's the most painful part. When I quit my job, I I said goodbye to a six-figure salary, and I had faith that I was going to be able to make my business work, but I didn't know for a fact. And so in the meantime, I still had to show up as a business owner. I still had to show up and coach, market, sell. Oh, shit. Hello? Did y'all hear me just cuss? Say hi if you can hear me or say yes. So my phone kept ringing and I tried to hang up and it switched me to a different screen. Can you hear me? Hello? Somebody put it in the comments if you can still hear me. Um okay, okay. So talking like, yeah, I was like, oh shit. Um thank you. So where was I? Somebody tell me where I was. Oh, um when I quit my job and I started my business and I work with clients to help them do the same thing. And the first thing people say is, "I never did that before. I don't know how." Okay, you never did it before. You never lost 20 pounds before. You never made multiple six figures before. You never been to Europe before. I don't know, whatever it is you've never done before. That doesn't mean you can't do it. That doesn't mean that you can't just start taking the steps to do it. So, what I see is people putting it off. One day I'll start that business. I really want to be an entrepreneur or I really want to publish the book. Flora said, I now plan my eating, exercise, self care, advocate for my own health, and most of all, work daily on keeping positive mindset. And as you said, fire the anxiety liar. Yeah. Did you have reserves for paying bills when you quit your job? Um, Very good question. So what happened was I started getting clients before I ever quit my job. And so I was making money, and then my job decided they weren't going to give me any more raises. It just came to the point where I knew it was just um, I had overdone my welcome. I was there for 16 years. And so I had clients and I was trying to figure out, okay, what's the date I'm going to quit? And I just decided I'm going to teach a group program, like a group course. And I made $23,000 in that course, to my surprise. I was telling a coach friend of mine today, I didn't wait till somebody told me how to do it. Like, I never took a course on how to teach a course. Like, I never, I was an accountant. I wasn't a teacher. I became a coach, not just, but I became a coach and I decided I'm going to do this. Just like the web series, just like the weight loss, whatever it is. I just said I'm going to do it. I made, to my surprise, $23,000 in a month. And my thought was, if I can make $23,000 in a month of my business. I never made that much on my job, so I didn't know if I could continue to make 23,000, but that was kind of the jumping off point. And actually, in all honesty, what I ended up doing is I refinanced my house and took some money out. People refinance all the time or get a home equity loan and they pay for their kids' college. They pay for all these other things. They get their kitchen redone, whatever it is. Um, I decided to bet on me. And since then, entrepreneurship, it's up and down. But the thing that I have learned, and it doesn't matter if you're becoming an entrepreneur or not, if you're writing a book, if you want to leave your job to travel the world, it doesn't really matter what it is. What really matters is your belief in what's possible. I'm telling you, your belief is there's comments I didn't even see. Way to go, 23,000. Yes. Do you have a um no, I don't have a video sharing the steps that I took to teach the course, but you can schedule a call with me and we can talk about it if you want to create a course. I certainly can help you with that, but I don't teach course creation. I teach how to launch a business, make money in your business, run your life, because I say you are your business and your business is you. And if your mind isn't right, it doesn't matter if I teach you a course. Like, we would have to talk so I could see where your head is at, because and this is the whole point of this live today. The whole point is we want strategy, we want steps, but the more important thing is to be the person. So reach out to me. Is it Sharia? Reach out to me. Um, we have to be the person, and nobody has ever taught us how to be who we aren't yet. We we've decided I want to write a book and we write the book, and now we say, I'm an author because you have evidence that you wrote the book. But what I'm saying to you is say, I'm an author, and then go about your living and writing and doing and being as an author instead of the person that kind of thinks they're an author, but they don't feel like it. People tell me all the time, I never had a business. Okay, everybody starts somewhere. You never walked until you walked, you know? You never ran until you ran. You never been married till you get married. Casey, hi. Yeah, so you have to become that person now. Yes, the blocks and the barriers we put on your own self. Yes. I'm so glad you love my lives. I always get nervous before I come on, then I come on and I can run my mouth. But nobody told me this. Nobody said, "Oh, Gail, you want to make," like, I'm gonna give y'all some mind-blowing statistics, and I've written about it, so maybe it won't blow your mind that much. But I made 23,000 in a month. Then the first year when I quit my job, I made $50,000 in 10 days. Then my first year in business, I made $300,000. On my job, the year before, I was making 105,000. So I put the number out there because I want you to see that what we now think is impossible really is possible. Um, I haven't I'm not making $300,000 now. Everything has really changed in the world, in corporate I mean, in, coaching and everything, but I took time off, like, I took pretty much a sabbatical, so I'm building my business back up, but I'm building it back up from a strong foundation because I've already done it, and like my coach was saying to me, "You did it before, you can do it again." And I did it because someone believed in me and told me it was possible. And then I hired I hired coaches. I hired support. I got accountability partners because it's so easy for us to have these big goals, but then we kind of hide from them, we lose track, we miss a beat, and then we give up, we get frustrated, and yes, I made that money coaching others. Yes. That's what I do. Yes. And I got certified by a woman who was a life coach, and last year, year before, she made 53 million. Those numbers are mind-blowing. She is a life coach, and she's on sabbatical this year, but that's who I got certified by, so I would get coached by her, and she would say, "How many millions you want to make?" So, even if I didn't make millions, thinking in millions helps you elevate. So at the time, I would have been happy making 200,000, but I put, in my coaching because I teach people how to coach themselves and I coach myself, and I put, that I wanted to make 500,000 a year, and I kept running what are called it's called the self-coaching model, the modality that I use for my coaching and that I teach my clients. So I put that the result that I want was to make a $500,000. But when my coach coached me, the lady that certified me, she's like, "Why just a 500,000? What about 1,000,000? What about 10,000,000 in 10 years?" And she coached me around thinking impossible, which I love to help people do. Come up with impossible goals. That's how you make money. That's how you change your life. That's how you do things you never did. You go for the big things. You don't go I mean, you go for the big thing, but then you take baby steps. And once you start taking baby steps, the path will show its way. So when I was coaching people one-on-one and then my calendar got full, I wanted to keep making money. So I just said, I'm going to teach a course. And so I created a course and taught it. Total mindset shift. Total, total, total. But when you think about it, almost everything we do is a mindset shift. You have to, unless you want a whole blah blah life. I was telling someone the other day, your life could be, how you have an EKG done, and with the EKG, for those of you that might not know, it shows your heartbeat. Well, you want your life to be like this. You don't want your life to be because you know what that means? You're dead. You're dead. And you have what I call a BAL, a boring ass life. Who wants that? Who wants that? And honestly, because now I'm starting to get on fire, y'all. Honestly, and this is not about politics in any way, but considering the way our society the shift in our society. I love this conversation. Being retired does not mean you just look out the window and, "Oh, please, no." But get involved with affiliate marketing, right? Yes. I just talked to someone about not never retiring. I'm on the team never retire. But to get back to what I was saying, and then I'll come back to this, um, things are changing in society. Our government has changed. Everything, the rules are changing. The rules have changed. And we're sitting here, not me, but a lot of people are sitting at home, hoping, wishing, praying that things will go back to the way they were. I got news for you. They're not. They're not. Things are not going back to the way they were. I'm not saying it will get continually worse, better. I don't know. I don't have a crystal ball, but we're still playing by the old rules while the billion trillionaires, are changing the rules. You've got to change. You've got to do things differently. We don't know how long jobs will be around. We don't know how long Social Security. You saw what happened with SNAP benefits, student loans, like all of those things that are federally backed that we relied on. They are shifting. There's no back to normal. We've got to create our own new normal. Yes, Flora. And if you don't, you are gonna be back here wishing you had. And that's why what I'm teaching you today is what rich people teach their kids. That's why sometimes people say rich kids are entitled. It's like, I already know it's mine. Whereas we're saying, "Oh, I never had it. I grew up poor. I don't know. I don't know if I can do it. I'm not sure." Hell no. Yes, you can do it. Yes, you can do it. If nobody has told you today or any other day recently, you can do whatever the hell you want, but you have to have a made up mind. Like, I'm going to brag on Flora. I Flora's at least 80, but I think she's 82. I'm 69, and Flora is vibrant, right? She's living life. Why? Tell me why society has told us that you work a some certain number of years and then you retire and then you go sit down and wait to die. Why? Like, why do we need to live by that rule? If you're independently wealthy and you decide you don't want to work anymore, that's one thing. But I see people all the time that don't understand Social Security, that don't have enough money in their retirement to function, to pay their bills, and they retire and then they get out in the world and they're like, "Oh, what the heck did I do?" They don't know. So you see me, I'm vibrant, I'm sharp. What am I gonna do? Sit around and twiddle my thumbs? And why retire? Like, I'm on team keep growing. I'm on team keep experimenting. I'm on team hell yeah, let's go. Make it happen till I take my last breath. That's what keeps you young. People ask me all the time, "What's your secret? What do you eat? What's your makeup?" I don't wear makeup. I don't wear makeup. I don't have like my daughter always says, "What's your skincare routine?" I don't have a skincare routine. I wash my face. My skincare routine is right here in my mind. My mind. I'm reading a book about, I think it's called How to Live to Your 120 Years Old. It's not about living to 120. Yes, it's team I want to be on. Yes, but it's not about living longer. It's about the quality of your life. It's about being excited. Thank you for the compliment. It's about being excited about your life. And the other thing, people always say to me, "Oh, it's just your genes." No, honey. 'cause I have a younger sister that looks way older than me. Her and I talk about it. Um, and this is no shade to her. She knows it. Once my sister, my daughter, and I were in the mall, and a lady walked up and said, "Oh, grandmother, mother, granddaughter." She thought my sister was my mother. My sister, said, "No, I'm her sister." And the lady was so embarrassed, and she was like, "I am so sorry." And my sister just said, "It's okay, I already know." But she had totally different habits, a totally different mindset. People really don't give our minds the credit that we should, you know? I my mother was sharp until she died at 86. Now, her body was failing, but her mind was sharp, 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 sharp. So, we have to think big. The only reason why I tripled my corporate salary is because I believed I could. If I didn't, I wouldn't even gone for making the money, and I wasn't trying to make I was having fun, I'll put it that way. I was trying to have fun, I was doing what I love, and I went all in, and that's what I want for you today. If you don't take anything else from this, dream big, go after impossible goals, get support, don't give up on yourself, stop being mean to yourself. Really, our thoughts and our feelings and our energy create everything, everything. And yes, I'm saying it in a simplistic way, but when we are on the journey to follow those impossible goals and go after them, it's hard. I'm not going to say it's easy because your mind will mess with you, but you have to, you have to, you have to. And I wouldn't care if you work with me or someone else, but you have to get support. You have to get support. One of my coach friends and I were talking today about, especially for women, how we are trained to take care of everyone else, but who's taking care of us? And even one of my friends said that to me one time. She said, "Gail, you're always doing for everyone else, but who's doing for you?" And I would ask all of you that. Well, you're busy taking care of everyone else, who's taking care of you? While you're busy supporting other people's dreams, who's supporting yours? Seriously, we can't do it alone. There's so much support out there for us now that never used to exist. We d Our friends can't support us because they never did what we're trying to do. Our family, they don't want us to change. So their whole thing is, "I love you just the way you are." Um, and you have to have support. Oh, before I forget, if you haven't signed up, I am having yes, make a budget. Make a budget. But I'm gonna talk about the budget thing in a second too. But, if you haven't seen it or signed up, I'm doing a free workshop Thursday evening, 7 p.m. Eastern on 3 things for your future self to do to make next year totally different. So it's to stop settling for the breadcrumbs. Stop settling for less. Um, I want to say something about budgeting. Budgeting is great. Don't get me wrong, but budgeting has you thinking within a box right here. So the box is this is how much I make, and I'm going to divide it up into different buckets, right? That's basically what a budget is. High level explanation of a budget, right? But what if you said, like, I paid $18,000 for my coach certification. I did not have $18,000 sitting around. But what I said is, I want this certification. And for probably 2 years, I told myself I couldn't afford it. It's not in the budget. I can't justify that, right? So I I just started thinking, "How can I do it? What can I do?" So when we say I'm on a budget and I have to fit it in my budget, and if it doesn't fit in my budget, I can't do it. Soon as you say that, you're smashing your dreams. But if you say and I just started doing this naturally, and then my daughter brought it to my attention, "I'll figure it out." So what if you said, I want to spend let's use my coach certification as an example. I want to get this certification, it's $18,000. The first thing to do or say you want I came in my house the other day and I looked outside, it had snowed, and I looked outside at my car and I was like, "Okay, my car still looks good." I have a 2018, Hyundai Sonata. My car still looks new, and I only have 60,000 miles on it. But I looked at it and I was like, it's getting kinda up there, 2018." And then I walked in the house and I said, "My next car, I'm paying cash for." It just came to my mind, and I'm like, "Do I have 50, $60,000 cash to pay for a car? No." But if you say it and you desire it, then my point was to see value in coaching. Yes, there's more value in coaching than a college degree, and that's a whole nother conversation. But once you decide and then you look for the answer will come. The thing is that people get discouraged along the way and they give up on their dreams. But what I'm saying is the more you believe, the more you go all in on your dreams, the more likely it is to happen. Hell yeah, there's more value in coaching than college because I went to college. I have a college degree. Okay. I didn't even, 99% of the people I know, um, oh, wow, the RAV4. Wait, what is that number you wrote? RAV4, oh, 49,000. Oh, so you really don't drive. Um, college coaching. Um, the thing with colleges, most of the people that I know with college degrees do not even work in the field they studied. So you go deciding is the key. So you go to college and you get the degree, and yes, your brain is working, you know, you get stretched, you learn new things, you put more data in your computer chip. But then what? But with coaching, you get to know yourself. You get to work through the barriers that you've put up on your journey called life. You get to see maybe there's one sentence that you're saying that if you changed it, it could change the trajectory of your life. But yes, the accountability is so important, but also somebody to have your back. So not just help you keep your word, but someone to have your back. And for me, and Flora could tell you, and love up on you. Like, I believe in my clients' goals. I believe in their dreams, and I hold them up until they can believe it themselves. And so coaching changed my life. And that's why I love it. That's why I coach other people because there's nothing else out there. Therapy helps us heal our past. Coaching helps you create your future. And I'm all about helping people create the future that they right now think is impossible because I've created the impossible. So if I've created the impossible and I was just a poor little black girl growing up in New Jersey to a mom who didn't neither one of my parents graduated from high school. Look at the miracles I've had happen. So if I can do it, certainly you can do it. And then this is the other thing is once we have I call it a well-managed mind because we we take in coaching, this is how I do my coaching. Not every coach works like this, but I look at this is a thought. Let's say this is a thought. So I look at the thoughts you're thinking And if you said to me, um, I can't make $1,000,000. I don't have a degree. I don't know how. I never did it before. And then let's take that thought. I can't make $1,000,000. Okay, I guess it's true. Let's just throw it in the trash because you already shut the door. But what if we looked at this thought, I can't make $1,000,000, and then we said, is that really true that you can't? Hmm. And you get curious and you start looking at that thought and you start saying, has anyone ever made $1,000,000? Yeah. Has anyone that never made $1,000,000 made $1,000,000? Of course. Has anyone that grew up poor ever made $1,000,000? Yep. Hmm. So then I would say to you, is it possible that you could make $1,000,000? Hmm. So most people are going to say, well, it's possible, but I don't know. Right there goes your dream. But if you keep holding on to the thought and transmute the thought, shift it into something else. And so it's a process. It's not like I can't, I don't know how to. Hell yeah, I know how to make it. All in between. That's what I help you with, the in between, the resistance, the push, the pull, what we feel it in our body, the discomfort. I call it scared sighted. Like I used to be afraid all the time. When I first quit my job, I was afraid every day. But I call it scared sighted because I was afraid, but I was also excited for what I knew was coming or what I believed was coming. So it's the difference between saying I can't make $1,000,000 and hell yeah, I'm making $1,000,000 this year. It's the difference because when you then get to the point, and it's called laddering your beliefs. So when you get to the point where you're saying, hell yeah, like my motto when I made the 300K, I said it all the time. I used to do Instagram reels. I know how to make a lot of freaking money. I believed it. I said it. I told people, I'm going to teach you how to make a lot of freaking money because most people want to make money. There's like, even the ultra, ultra, ultra wealthy still want to make money. So there's not a person on earth that's going to say, no, I don't want to make any more money. So when you go from saying, "I don't know how, I never did it, I can't, I don't know," to "I know how." So as soon as you start thinking, "Well, maybe it's possible. What if I did know how? What would I do? What if I did know how? What if I know someone that knows how?" That's the thing. I hired people that knew how. And I started really believing it. And then I started, because money is my jam. I used to be an accountant. I worked for a law firm, which some of you probably already know, for 16 years. I joke, say I counted rich people's money. So money is my jam. Um, and so I love thinking about it, talking about it, going for big money goals. I can make what people make on their job in my business pretty easily, but my thing is to make big amounts of money and help more people. So, if I'm saying the clients are coming out of the woodwork, wow, I wonder where the next client's coming from. I can't wait to teach my client how to make a lot of money. Or I have a client, we jam about money, and I have her imagining how many people do you want to work with? How much do you charge them? Where are they? What do they think? Where can you find them? How can they find you? Like all of those things are how you make more money. It's not, let me go put my resume into a million places and get rejected and feel like crap and go sit somewhere and eat ice cream. No, it's like, how the hell am I going to make, let's say, How the hell, put it in the comments, how the hell are you going to triple your salary? Just tell me in the comments. There's 40 people on here. Give me some ideas right now. If I said to you, if somebody said, if you triple your salary, I'll match it with 1 million, then we'd be real curious and motivated. Oh, if I figure out how to triple my salary, they're going to give me another 1 million. Or what if they were going to give you 10 million? Maybe 1 million's not enough. Tell me in the comments. I don't see anything coming up. I want you to use your imagination. Like, seriously. I don't want you to just listen. I want you to talk to me. How would you go about tripling your salary? If you don't work anymore, how would you go about tripling your retirement, your Social Security? Tell me. Somebody, I'm waiting. Like, seriously, I really want you to start challenging yourself with these kind of questions. And when you come, I just said it earlier, I'm having a workshop on Thursday. Um, when I send out the replay, the link to sign up for the workshop, it's free. Come on, let's meet. Like, I want to build community here. I see everybody's name, and I want to meet you. If you want me to coach you, if you have questions, it's Thursday evening, 7 p.m. Eastern. How the hell can I become a, what's that? What's the dollar sign question? How the hell can you make 3 times more than you make now? Like, seriously. So should I assume no one wants to make 3 times more? I don't think that's the case. Somebody guess? We've been talking about it this whole time. See? This is what happens when you don't have someone watching your brain, when you don't have someone asking you the right questions, when you don't go for the big goals. Then we shut down and we use ChatGPT. No, your brain is ChatGPT. Ask your brain, how can I triple my salary? How the hell can I make triple the amount of $1,200? Yeah, I would love to make 1 million. How much would you love to make 1 million? Seriously, how much would you love? Oh, you meant to put millionaire in your question. How how much would you love to make $1 million? I'm in a membership now with a coach who just turned 30. She was a social worker making like 30K, and this is her third or fourth year making like 1.5 million in her business. The only reason that you haven't done it and I haven't done it, I will do it. My goal is 10 million in 10 years. So in 10 years, I'll be a little bit younger than Flora. There's no reason why I can't make 10 million in 10. My mentor's goal was 100 million, and she got to 50 some million, and then someone offered to buy her company for hundreds of millions. We don't have to know the exact steps. But I said earlier, some people just join, but the first thing is deciding. So, um, Charisse, $1,200 times three, $3,600. I could teach you how to make $10,000 in a month. I could teach you how to make $5,000 in a month. It's not hard, but you have to do the work. And I don't mean work like sitting in front of the computer all day working. I mean right here. You have to get a bit delusional. You have to get a bit delusional. And speaking of that, and I'm going to let y'all go because I've been talking almost an hour. But speaking of that, I have some exciting news. I am going to be, my class is Thursday night at 7 p.m. Eastern. Um, Either message me on Substack and I'll just give you the link to sign up, or you could go to my post from today or yesterday. The link to sign up is in both of my Substack posts. So all you have to do is go to my Substack. But also, when I send out the replay, if you're on my list, if you're a subscriber, you will get the link with this replay. Um, but anyway, so I started thinking, and this is the last thing I'm going to talk about today. Any of you can reach out to me and get on a call. I am not like a hard sell person. Or what you can do is I've created these $97 sessions. So if this has blessed you, I will put the link to the $97 session. We can sit down for an hour. I can get to know you. You can get to know me better. I can identify some thoughts that are getting in your way and how to help you move forward. If you want to talk about tripling your salary, I'm so glad we don't have to know. No, you don't have to know the steps. Nobody knows the steps. So I'm so fired up about this. Just get on, schedule a call. We all can come up with $97 to change our life. So I've paid thousands, you know. Start with one conversation. It starts with one conversation. So the last thing that I'm going to say is um I am going to slightly be rebranding my Substack, and now I'm coming out here speaking as my future self. So I want you to start paying attention to this over the next few months as to how I'm showing up um, with my big dreams. So I have about 4,500 subscribers. I've gotten 500 and some subscribers in the past 30 days. So I started thinking about, I'm like, even if I got 500 a month, that's still 6,000 more. So in the next, and let me write this down, in the next year, I want to be at 10,000 subscribers or more. Okay. And this morning in the shower, I started coming up with like ideas, like asking myself, what do I want to do? So I'm going to start talking about how to be delusional with your desires. Like, be delusional, be out of your mind, do the impossible. I'm putting myself on the line and I'm going to do a daily Substack now. Daily. Thank you, Tony. It's going to be daily, just very short. Like I used to, and this is so crazy. Before I was ever a coach, ever, years ago, I went through a divorce and I believe in encouraging myself every day. And I had met a woman. I was sad. She was sad. I joined the singles group being newly divorced. And she said, "You are such an inspiring person. I wish I had you in my brain." And I said, I can send you daily inspiration. Um, yes, notes do drive subscriptions. And I said to her, I don't mind like sending you some daily inspirations. This is before we ever had anything like Substack, anything. So all of a sudden, people started sharing it with their friends. And I was having to do like a regular email and CC everybody. So I would have this long list of people that I copied. And so I'm going back to a modern version of daily, it's going to be daily delusion, like daily impossible thoughts, big thoughts, daily reminders for you so that I'm in your head on a regular basis, cheering you on because I've been through a lot and I didn't have that. I didn't have, when I went through so much brain tumor, divorce, all kind of crazy stuff. Um, I didn't have a coach at that time. I didn't have all the things. And I just know if I had had coaching a lot earlier, I could have gone so much further. So for me, people tell me I inspire them now. Yes, yes, Flora, because it's important that we inspire ourselves. You inspire me on the regular. So um, look out for first, okay, a couple things. I'm dropping the price of my paid subscriptions. I was experimenting, And now I see kind of where I want to land. I'm going to be putting out a daily post and then one kind of bigger one with lots of value. Um, yes, that will be a godsend. Yes. Um, and then every month, I'm going to start having a monthly free workshop so that even if for whatever reason you feel like you can't invest, which I don't believe that somebody can invest $10 a month or $97 or whatever. My coaching is more than that. But what I'm saying is you have to start somewhere. You have to start somewhere. And you better start dreaming big, getting delusional, believing you can do the impossible because we're going to have to really change our lives. Especially, we got 3 more years of this political situation, which a lot can happen in 3 years, but you need the support. You need the kind of like the hug every day. So that's what's coming. Thank you for being here. Thank you for hanging in here with me. If you have any questions or anything, message me. Like, I do not want anyone to leave here and then be frustrated with their life and be suffering. I want to help people stop suffering. Seriously, that's why I do what I do. It's like I'm called to it. I know what it's like to suffer. I know what it's like to settle. I know what it's like to think really small and not think that I could have the nicer things, bigger things, different things. Um, and now that I have the key to making it happen, let's go. Yes, Lord, let's get busy, y'all. So see you Thursday. Sign up for the workshop if you can't be there. You might be, in another part of the world. Sign up anyway because there will be a replay. So I'll be sending out the replay. And let's go, y'all. Later.